Alright, what's up YouTube? It is K-Rad here. I'm back with another good video for today. I wanted to talk about Mr. Rashidi Ellis, for those of you that don't know. Rashidi Ellis has been in a very weird position. I don't know what's been up with him lately, but I hope everything is well with him. It's nothing severe for those of you that don't know. It's just more like the lack of inactivity, or the lack of, of activity. He's been inactive for well over a year, or it will be a year come October. And for those of you that don't know, he had his last outing with Alexis Roca, a good fighter, not the best fighter in the world, but he's I don't really like it when fighters don't stay active, but last time we saw Alexis in the ring, he knocked out James Bacon. Not that big of a win. Just a unknown Filipino that wasn't even that good to begin with. I kind of thought, like, as far as, both fighters' careers go, is that, Rashidi would have a career where he would stay active and stay known in the welterweight division. But now it makes me feel like he's not even close, because, Rashidi's to a point where, he'll be 29 in May or something. I forgot when, but, he has pretty much, a little bit left in his career. Definitely a good 5 or 6 years left. And it's not to say he can't be a world champion. I think he has all the tools to become one. And if he was able to have that type of career where, everything has to be, structured properly for every top welterweight to go at it with each other, I think Rashidi Ellis needs to have his moment to shine, and give the man his opportunity, because like everyone's talking about how Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, they need to have their shot. I think Rashidi Ellis needs to have his shot because he's long overdue to be getting any fight. See, now, I don't know what's going on between him and Golden Boy, but if everything is going well as planned, where he's trying to get out of Golden Boy so he can start going after the big dogs, then by all means go for it. I heard that he should be fighting soon, but I'm not too sure when. I might need to wait up on that, and hopefully he can be back in the ring. I really like to see him back in the ring with somebody by the likes of either Eimantas Stanionis, or we could see him and Jamal James. I would like that fight. Or if we could get an Adrian Broner fight, which would be a good fight, or Conor Benn, or Maurice Hooker, or Omar Figueroa. I think, the top young dogs at 147, like the top 20, should be guys like Conor Benn. I'll go with an Adrian Broner. A Adrian Broner fight will make you a lot of money. That will get your name up there. Virgil Ortiz, Abel Ramos, I actually wouldn't mind those fights. Or if he could get a Sean Porter, which I don't see that happening, but let's just say somewhere out of nowhere, Sean Porter wants to get a final payday. I think Rashidi Ellis fight would be a good fight to end it up with. But obviously Sean Porter, he's not trying to get exposed by younger, flashier guys. Honestly, I actually wouldn't mind a Danny Garcia fight. I think Danny Garcia versus, Rashidi Ellis would be a really good fight stylistically. And Rashidi, he has power, but also he has great boxing IQ. So I think Danny, he would struggle against a fighter like him that could easily catch him off guard and give him trouble. But yeah, it's just weird because it's like there's just so much competition at 147 that's on the come up. And shit, I actually wouldn't mind seeing Rashidi and Justin Deloach go at it. Justin Deloach, he's a really good fighter. He's only been stopped 3 times by top level guys. Terrell Williams, he beat him by split. Yeah, cheating bastard. Nathaniel Gallimore, and who else? Yeah, Eimantas Stanionis, and who's the other guy that knocked him out? Yeah, Cesar Villa. Yeah, I mean, he's a good fighter. He obviously does his job to go out there and put on a show, and I like his drive. So Justin, he doesn't back down from any competition. So, I mean, him and Rashidi would be a really good fight. Or I actually want to mind a Josh Kelly fight, which is actually a pretty good fight to be made. Obviously, we know what happened with Josh Kelly. He was an idiot. He got cut on the back of his head and above the right eye. He got down twice in the fight against David Avanesian. And, yeah, that's all she wrote. I don't know if Josh Kelly will be the same fighter, but either way, it's pretty bad enough to see him fall down. But I do know Jaron will be facing Thomas Delorme. That's sometime in the early October or by the end of the year. I'm not too sure when they're going to fight. I know Jaron Ennis is due to get a title shot by the start of next year, so I really don't know how Thomas Delorme is going to weigh out in this fight. I think Thomas Delorme, he's going to put up a fight, and, sadly, Jaron's going to stop him. I just think Delorme, he's a terrific fighter. He fought every single good opponent you could think of. He's only been stopped by Crawford and Luis Abregu, who was a good fighter and definitely gave him his opportunity. But Thomas Delorme, he's been at it with everyone. He could have defeated a lot of guys like Ugas, Jesse Vargas, who he almost stopped in that fight. He almost beat Jamal James. That was a close fight. And yeah, there's just so many opportunities that has been offered to Thomas, and Thomas is probably one of the good, probably one of the most highly decorated Puerto Rican fighters that I'm proud to, support, because he doesn't back down from any competition. But I think if you were to put him and Rashidi Ellis in there, that would be a good flashy fight for him too. Because Thomas, he's a killer, man. He knows how to fight, and he doesn't back down from a challenge. So I think the way he fights and Rashidi fights, I think Rashidi stylistically gives him problems. But I wouldn't be against seeing that fight happen if that were to be a fight in the future. But he has to get through Jaron Ennis, and I don't see that being a thing. I wouldn't mind Jaron Ennis and Rashidi Ellis go at it for a title eliminator or for a world title itself, because if you think about it, if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, if they're trying to meet each other at the very end of the tunnel for Undisputed, you now have Jaron, Virgil, Rashidi, Abel Ramos, Danny Garcia. Well, Danny Garcia, he'll be out of the picture, but I don't see anybody else at 147 staying. You'll definitely see Eimantas Stanionis. He'll be fighting Ugas. Just to update you guys, Eimantas Stanionis will be fighting Ugas for the WBA Super title. So I don't understand why the WBA mandated that. That made zero sense. And Ugas should just wait for the winner of he could either wait for Sean Porter or Terrence Crawford, or he can go after Errol Spence. But if there's nobody left to unify, which that's not going to happen, because Errol Spence said he should be ready to come back in December, I would definitely like to see him in the ring with Errol Spence, because that should be the right thing to do as a world champion. And I think where Ugas is at in his career, he needs to go after a guy like Errol Spence. Knowing that EJ, he's definitely going to stylistically give him problems and probably knock him out. But still, I'd still like to see that fight, because EJ and Ugas are long overdue to unify. So, if Eimantas Stanionis is going to be in this path to be fighting Ugas, as far as what I know and what I've been hearing, then that's going to be a problem for Errol Spence, because Errol Spence now has to wait for this fight to be over, which I find that to be absolutely horrendous, because it doesn't make any sense, because now Jamal James, he probably lost his interim belt for the WBA, because the WBA just got rid of, you know, a majority of their belts, so now they just have a regular champion and a super champion. So I want to say Ugas is the super champion, and Jamal James has to be the WBA regular champion. Yeah, WBA. Hold on, let me just take a look at the welterweight rankings. Yeah, WBA welterweight champion. Yeah, Ugas and Jamal James is the WBA regular champion. So that's really what they did, which is a good job, but the WBA should have just had it as one champion. Cause like the confusion now is like who's like the real champion now. You know, see, like right here, you know, they only have 2 spots now. They don't have the WBA global, all this bullshit, because now, you know, from what I've heard recently, all their sanctioning fees are bullshit, and you know, obviously you're not a world champion if you're not beating the top guy in the world championship sanctioning body. But no, the WBA should just do it right to say, if you are a unified world champion, you are the super champion. And if you become undisputed, you could either make that move to go... No, if you're undisputed, you have to face your mandatory that chooses to faces you. Like, you know, if they obviously don't want to face you, then let's just say you leave, and then that regular world champion that's defending the title themselves to be ready for the super unified world champion, that would make a lot more sense, because at least that way that world champion that was the regular champion will be next in line to face the super champion if he or she wants to either keep the belts and stay there, or just move up and vacate all the belts, and now you're next in line to go for that belt itself. But you just have to face the next guy under you, in which you will be now elevated to the super... Well, no. You won't get the super belt until you unify. You will be the world champion. You'll just be regular world champion until you unify with another champion that has a belt or will be fighting for their belt. So you would just have to face your mandatory and then go after another world champion, because it makes a lot more sense to say to do that, instead of just having like this whole confusion of like, oh, the super champion can face mandatories and blah blah blah, or have voluntary defenses. No, fuck that. Like, if you're like, you know, if you're a super champion, you should be facing either voluntary defenses if it's possible, or go after unification fights, because that's what your sanctioned body should be doing. But hence, that's why that I want sanctioned bodies gone in boxing, because it makes 0 sense whatsoever. But in regards to Rashidi Ellis, yeah, he has like a lot of weighing room to grow into, so it's not like he can't get up there. You know, he's obviously at that level. You know, it's good that all the other divisions are being cleaned up with the WBA. Like, man, like, look, I'm happy that David Morrell, he's a WBA world champion. That's amazing. Good for him. Much love to David Morrell. I hope he continues to do bigger and better things. But yeah, as you can see right here, even for the females, we got Eileen Cedar-Roos. You know, we got Franchon Cruz and Eileen, and then the WBO is vacant. So yeah, I definitely like to see what's gonna happen. You know, in the near future. You know, obviously we have a lot of you know, championship belts that are obviously just left wide open for people, and it don't seem like anybody's really fighting for it. So, I mean, the females are obviously just, you know, just keeping by and just doing what they're doing. But as you can see here with the 147, oh wow, Summer Lynch, she actually got ranked. Oh, good for her. Lightweight, Katie Taylor, as you can see, Firuza Sharapova, she's a good fighter. Maria Moneo, she's she's a beast. She could definitely crack. And then you got Ramona Kuhn, Jessica Camara. Jessica, she'll be fighting Kaylee Reese for 140, I think. Yeah, yeah, that's at 140. Kaylee, then you got Chantel, Mary, WBO vacated, blah blah blah. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, really just like nothing going on. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say, man. I hope Rashidi Ellis can get his shot. He's obviously right there. Oh, and there's my girl, Zarina McCoy. She's number 5 by the WBA. You guys, yeah, like you guys better watch out. She's definitely coming up. She's gonna take out everybody, man. Be sure to check in on her fight Saturday. I'm definitely gonna stream that for those of you watching. So yeah, I can't wait. That is going to be amazing. And yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it of what I have to say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think that's pretty much it. And yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later. I will come back with more content, and until we meet again, YouTube family. Bye.